Good evening everyone, welcome back to my videos. It's me Shabniz, and today I have a special topic for a special person. She knows who she is if she is watching this video, and I'm going to share with you my experience of depression. This is a topic that many people find it difficult to talk about because depression is very taboo like many other things. Many people don't even know what depression is. Actually, depression is a disease. It's not in your mind, it's not being stressed or just having a bad day or having a bad mood. Depression is when you are crushed by grief, you are so overwhelmed by a problem that you can no longer function normally. You cannot stop crying, you cannot sleep well, you don't have any appetite, you don't have any joy, you just feel that the world is a very bad place and you feel like the most unhappy creature in the world. Nothing cheers you up. Sometimes you even think of death, you even wish you were dead. It's not a joke. And of course different people experience different symptoms in their depression, but it's not something to be taken lightly. And as someone who has suffered from depression many times, I know what are its implications. And the reason why I'm doing this video today is because I think that there are many people suffering all around the world, but they are afraid to talk about it because they don't want to be judged, or because people don't generally understand how serious depression is. For example, if you've got a broken arm or you've got a visible wound on your body, people will show sympathy because they can see that it's real, you're not making it up. But depression is exactly like that. It's just invisible, it cannot be seen. Sometimes it's even more serious than a physical wound. But the fact that people cannot see it and they have not experienced it themselves, they find it difficult to realize how actually it's very serious. It's very difficult to experience depression. So yes, my own story. I was 13 years old when I first suffered from depression. Yes, it's very young. I was in Form 2 in high school. At that time, you are still a child. You're not even a teenager. I was still a child in many ways. And yes, I remember that my mom had she was going to get an operation done. That operation that you call a hysterectomy, where you remove the uterus of the woman. So my mom, she was diagnosed by a sort of disease, and it was very hush at that time. No one was explaining to me clearly what was happening, but I could feel that it was serious, and I was affected by that, seeing my mother, knowing that something was wrong with my mom and that she was going to be on an operation table under the knife. It really made me feel very like shocked and sad for my mother, for myself. And I absorbed that grief. For me, I didn't know that I was suffering because of that, but after a lot of years now, I can see that it was probably that main event that triggered the depression in me. So yes, I was 13 years old and I started feeling very sad. I couldn't stop crying. I had to be absent at school for 2 weeks, and it was very weird. My friends were wondering where I had gone and I had to explain to them. So I felt like suddenly everything seemed like a nightmare. And of course, I went to see a psychologist at that time. She gave me some very light medications and she talked to me and she asked me if there is any problem in my life. And I told her that no, nothing, everything is fine. But nothing was fine. I was really suffering a lot, and I didn't even have my mother at the time where I needed it the most. My mother was at the clinic. She had gone there for that operation. So it was a very difficult time for me, and eventually I got over it. It took some time, it took a lot of support from my family, but I did suffer from depression again and again at different phases of my life for different reasons, sometimes for the same reasons, events that had happened in the past that were bothering me, and many it was a combination of things. It's not so simple to explain. Sometimes everything is going on well, you're very happy, and then all of a sudden you feel like depressed, you feel crushed by grief, you feel sad, you don't even know why, but you just feel like life is meaningless, like everywhere you just see evil around you, you feel very unprotected, you don't know. So it took me a lot of prayer, patience, exercise, reloving myself, allowing myself to feel sad. It's okay not to be okay. You are seeing me right now, today, coming across like that and talking about this issue in all honesty. It takes a lot of courage to do that, because you don't want people to know the ugly sides of your life. You don't want people to know how actually you are not that always strong, confident, and happy, in control, that you have your bad days, the memories that you'd rather forget and just put in the drawer and lock it. But the reason why I'm doing this is because, just like I told you, there are many people who have been through the same situation, and the biggest conclusion for me so far from what I have learned in life is that you should not expect everything to be perfect or everything to be the way you want it to be. That life is part black, part white. There are many shades of grays, but you cannot expect everyone to be super nice. You cannot expect everything to be easy and perfect and everything going on the way you want. That is not possible, and I wish that the world would be a very beautiful, happy place where everyone would love everyone. There would be no violence, there would be no evil at all. I wish that was the case, and sometimes I do ask myself whether God really exists, because why would God allow so much suffering, so much pain, so much injustice? You can see all around you people who are very innocent are suffering the most at the hands of cruel people, sadistic people who enjoy torturing others. I won't be getting into that topic, but my point is there is always going to be some things which you cannot control. You can change yourself, you can control yourself, but you are absolutely helpless when it comes to controlling the world. So let's be realistic. Let's not have too high expectations so as not to be disappointed, and you must always remain optimistic. Always believe that there is a solution for every problem. If you are not satisfied with a situation in your life, you must have the guts to get out of it. Even if it's a relationship, it's a job, it's your weight, it's your studies, I don't know. If you're not happy, if it's making you more harm than good, then leave. Get out of your comfort zone. Anything is possible. You're not dead yet. So instead of just sitting there and wasting precious moments of your life being unhappy, go out and create your own happiness. I'm not telling you that you don't have the right to be unhappy. In fact, the point of this video is also to tell you that you can allow yourself to break down once in a while. If you want to hit things, you want to curse, you want to cry, do it. Allow yourself. It's only human, it's only normal. You're human, and by the grace of the universe, things will be better, and everything that you experience, it will teach you something valuable about yourself.